Check this out. What's up, guys? I just wanted to show you something that I just finished up. It's a brushless motor put into the WPL metal transmission. Had to modify it quite a bit to get it to work, and I'm going to take it apart and show you how I did that. The thing rips. So the motor is a 2445 made by OCDay, I don't know. You can get these on eBay. Comes with a 35 amp ESC. It's like 25 bucks for both. The ESC is not strong enough for this motor. Really should have a 60 amp, because I think peak current draw on the motor is like 38 amps. So 35 isn't even close. I do have a 60 amp on the way, and probably won't be running this until I get that. So when you get these gearboxes on eBay, they come with a 370 size motor with a reducer unit, and then those all go, you know, into the motor. This reduction unit is 18:1. It makes it so your little 370 motor has a ton of torque, but you're gonna have no top speed at all. Now the rest of the gearbox is a 1-to-1 ratio. It has 3 20-tooth gears in it. And to run just the 1-to-1 ratio, you're gonna need a really strong motor to turn that, probably a 540 size brushless. So what I started doing was looking for gears that would mesh with those 20-tooth gears, but a smaller tooth count. And what I ended up getting was a 14-tooth modulus 0.5 gear from eBay. And any modulus 0.5 gear will mesh with any other. I went with 14 teeth because I thought it would work, and it did. So here's what we're looking at. It's out of focus, but I don't know, camera doesn't want to focus, but anyway, that's a 14-tooth gear here, and the other two are normal 20-tooth gears. So yeah, the standard unit comes with these 20-tooth gears, and I got this tiny little 14-tooth gear to mesh with that and give me a lower ratio. The rear axle of the WPL C24 is a 1-to-2.5 ratio. So combined with the gear reduction from 14 to 20 teeth, I think my overall ratio is like 3.55 or something like that. It is geared a little bit low. When starting out on flat ground, it has a bit of a tough time. I do have smaller gears on the way in the mail. I'm gonna try out a 12-tooth next and see if that works better. Give me a bit less top speed, but it will keep strain off the motor and give it better acceleration. Top speed's already too high anyway. Anyway, here is how the normal unit looks, and here is how my modified unit looks. I pretty much just put the gear in there. I bolted the motor up, put the gear in there, and then kind of twisted the motor around to figure out where does it need to be to get the correct amount of gear mesh. And then I just started kind of drilling holes to get them to match up with the mounting hole. It was just a lot of guess and check. If you're crafty, I think that you'll be able to figure it out. I did have to drill out the 14-tooth gear because it came with a 2mm inner diameter, and this, what do you call these, output shafts? This is 2.3mm. So I drilled it out with a 3/32 bit, which is actually closer to 2.4mm, but it worked fine because there's a set screw on it. Overall, it works pretty well. I mean, it does wheelies, it'll balloon the tires, and that's all on a 2S LiPo. I have a 3S, and I'm gonna run that sometime, but it's hard enough to drive as it is. So I'm probably gonna wait until I get a gyro to help drive it. Maybe try a 12-tooth pinion. And once that's all done, I'm gonna get to work. Either gonna build an identical one for this thing, or I'm gonna do a 540 size brushless, so like a 3650. I've also been considering the possibility of doing a dual motor setup, because I think that you could mount a motor to each side of this transmission if you were careful. You might need to get some spacers so that the motor on this side will clear the screws, but I think it's possible. So anyway, that was just a test to see if everything worked. I'm gonna go through and Loctite everything down, get some heavier grease, and maybe run it a bit more tomorrow. But as you can see, it just traction rolls everywhere and is really hard to control. And I think I'm just gonna end up breaking something. So I'm gonna wait until, getting a gyro, and hopefully that'll make things a little more stable. I don't like recording at night, but I just couldn't keep myself. I had to do it. So I ran out and shot some quick videos, and I'll show you those in a second. I managed to lose both my side view mirrors as well as scrape the roof up pretty good. But man, this thing rips, and I'm excited to see just how far I can take these metal transmissions. I think they're a way better design than the plastic geared 2-speed units. You can get the same ratios if you use the right gears, and it's going to be way more robust than this. So yeah, expect to see more videos about these metal transmissions, and I plan on ordering a few more of them, doing some different gear ratios, trying different motors with them, and hopefully I'm going to challenge Tom Lee RC Garage for the world's fastest WPL title. So yeah, here's how the thing runs. Thanks for watching.